Howdy y'all. I'm trying to do this more often since the fish room is always changing up, and so trying to do some more updates on the fish room and whatnot, and make sure that I get full walkthroughs eventually, because I don't really get to every tank showing my normal reels. So that's what I'm going to do today. Is I'm going to do a full fish room walkthrough, show you what's going on, show you the equipment, show you how I run it, and show you all the fish that I'm keeping. This is probably going to be a long video. If you like it, if you like any of the fishes, you like what I'm doing, any of that, remember to give me a follow. And I post a lot of content that I don't share to the groups. It ends up being a lot on my profile, and I only share a handful to the groups, so there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than if you're just a group that's seeing me posting there. So yeah, I'm going to start out with showing you the RO system, and then the float valves and the lighting system and the heating system for the room. And then I'll go around and I will show you the individual fish tanks, and show you the individual fish and tell you a little bit about them, what I know about them. I'm no expert, but yeah, I'm probably going to butcher some of these Latin names, but hopefully you guys understand it. They're written on the tanks, so pause the video wherever that's at to see the real names for them all. Alright, let's flip this around and get to the other part. Alright, so first up I have the RO system. I've got a 1,000 gallon per day unit. Got the handle hooked up so you can see the TDS, so when the filters need to be changed. And what I've got going on here is I've got hot water running through this one, cold water running through that one. They tee together and they get me about 70 degrees of water temp, so I'm not shocking my fish as bad. The other thing I've got going on is I got a T right here if I want straight RO water, but for the most part I run these, if I can focus, remineralization filters, so I don't have to worry about putting any chemicals or any additives in my tank. It's a lot cheaper to run that than it is to run the aquarium remineralization system. So the RO is over there, the lines run up through the ceiling, drops down. I got 3 flow valves on this because it helps keep up when I'm doing water changes to have 3 flow valves running instead of just 1 or 2. I could honestly go with a couple more just because it doesn't keep up necessarily. And then I've got it teed right here. This line goes up, down, into this 20 gallon reservoir, over, tees up and catches all the 10 gallons, the 20 long and the 3 gallon. And then it goes over, comes up, tees off onto the other 8, 10 gallons. And then it runs under into another 20 gallon pressure tank, up between the 55 gallons, pops out here. And right now I've only got the bottom and the middle tank on float valves. Eventually I'll connect in the 55 gallons across the way. Then I've got a line ran, that's just roughly ran right now over here. If I turn that float valve, then I'll get water out of it. So that way I can come over here and I can catch the 8, 15 gallons. I think I'm going to put my other 60 breeder up here, so it's 3 60 breeders on top of each other, and then replace the 60 breeder with a 75 gallon. But yeah, that's the RO system. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at lighting. I just run these garage shop lights. They're daisy chainable. What daisy chainable means is they connect into each other. So all of these tanks right here You can see the wire right there going across. They're all connected together and plugged into here where I've got a timer. And right now Tango's got a zone cord, which I want to change out because everything daisy chainable is easier, because those two tanks are daisied. These are all crossed here daisied. Same garage shop lights. Same garage shop lights. These are all daisied all the way down. And so what that does is it makes it really easy because you're only using a couple of plugs. Garage shop lights with a daisy chain. They just plug into each other. This whole section is all together, tied together. But yeah, daisy chain your lights if you can, because if you're running a lot of tanks like this, it's a lot easier just to have daisy chains everywhere instead of running individual. Because I only run, I think, 2 or 3 of those across the whole way. One there, one there. That one's just an extension cord basically off of that one so I can get to the air pump. But I've only got 2 multi-ways because I can run my lights off of just a single cord. I've got 2 timers to run it though, just because I had to get 2 separate power sources, because there's other circuits out in the other room that I'm using too on top of this circuit here. Should be using that one because that one's straight from the box just like that one. Don't know why I don't. Project for another day. So my main filtration are 4-way air pumps. And the reason why I do that is because I used to run 1 air pump, but when that 1 air pump goes out, you crash a ton of tanks at the same time. At least with this, if a pump goes out, or normally a port, just a single port goes out, then you're only losing 1 tank, 2 tanks, 3 tanks, 4 tanks. Versus if I ran all of this on 1 air system, then I'm risking having them all go down at the same time. So I've got 4-way pumps everywhere. There's a couple stacked back there, up there, over there, over there. So there's just 4-way air pumps everywhere. And I use all sponges except for I've got 1 canister filter that's actually running right now. This is the 1 set canister. It's on this 75 gallon. It was really overstocked for a while there. The stocking's down, but I still don't trust it with just a sponge filter. Honestly, the peacocks are making me nervous. I need to add another one in there. They're doing fine for now, but another sponge filter would definitely help them just because the stocking's heavy. Heating and circulation, I've got this 1500 watt heater. It heats the room to 82 degrees, and then the tanks run between 77 and 81 degrees. They don't actually ever hit 82 degrees. So if you're going to heat the room instead, then you got to have it a little bit warmer than you actually want the tanks. Like the bottom tanks are a lot colder than the upper tanks. These high up tanks are easily 5-6 degrees warmer than the bottom tanks. So keep that in mind if you're growing fish out and whatnot. I'm also using this box fan to kind of circulate it. I could honestly use some more, or another box fan or 2. Over here I've got a carbon 4-inch filter, and that's to get rid of the fishy smell and make it smell better in here. Like it doesn't smell really bad, but it's still, fish rooms just have their odors. So that helps take care of the stinkies for me. And then it blows that way, and that one blows that way. The one problem I'm having though is the bottom tanks over here are really cold, so I need to get a fan pushing this way and then one going that way to continue the loop. Then I think I can get even heat distribution. Or even if I could get a fan up top pushing down all that hot air, because all the hot air is up top. Yep. So this barrel is what I use to fill up whatever tanks don't have float valves, which is the majority of them right now. And so remineralized water's in there, remineralized water's coming out over here into each of these tanks. So I don't have to actually have any remineralizer, and I don't run any. And up in this tank, you can see I've got my cherry red shrimp, and there's little babies absolutely everywhere. And this is just off that remineralization filter. So taking a look at the equipment corner, it's got trash, extra lights. I've got my net soak bucket back here, so all my nets are ready to go. Don't ever use them, but the API master test kits are back there. Don't use them just because I don't really ever have a need to. Got some foods up here from Cunningham. Those are good foods, really good. Need to get back into that. I've been using Extreme Aquatics a bit lately. A friend of mine gave me a bucket of this, so I'm giving that out too right now. To kind of get a mixed diet. Got bags and rubber bands for customers. I've got the I've got my stamp right here, so I can stamp everybody's stuff. The usual Canaplex, Scarlet Guard, random stuff. I like using Pristine. Pristine seemed to get rid of the sludge. That was nice. And then instead of buying aquarium salt, I buy rock salt. And I just throw it in a kitty litter bucket just because the bag's a pain in the butt. It always tears and gets everywhere, so I just throw it in there. But yeah, I always got to have the Posi Pro, the copper, and methylene blue stocked up, because as you can see, somebody's sick and they're getting treated right away. I didn't have to go look for meds at all. Well supplied fish room keeps your fish healthier, way easier. This guy right here, he ended up getting a sore on his side for some reason. He doesn't like to show that side. It's on the other side. Yeah, he won't show it. There it is. Not sure what it was. It was a bacterial infection of some type. Don't know how I got it. So, methylene blue, some Canaplex, some salt, and he's a lot better now. It's healing up, scabbing over, it looks like, so he should be alright. But yeah, the only reason why I was able to help him out so fast is because I already had everything on hand. I didn't have to go running around for it. Are you kidding me? You made it this far in the video. That's sweet. Because we're on to the best part, my favorite part, which is actually showing the fish and showing the room around a little bit more. So you got to see all the equipment and all the stuff that I do, and all the meds and everything that I keep on hand, and how I run this fish room, all the mechanics of it. So now we're going to go through and we're going to actually get to see the fishies and see how they're doing and see where they're all at. And yeah. Oh yeah, also, if you've made it this far and you're enjoying it, hit that follow button. I post a lot more videos than just this. This will probably get shared around, but I'll probably, a lot of stuff I actually post doesn't get shared around. So if you follow along, you get to see that. Just subscribing doesn't do anything. I'm not going to do anything for subscribers differently. If you subscribe to me, sweet, but I'm going to post all the videos for free so you guys can enjoy them. I don't see a point in having everybody subscribe to me to see exclusive content. I'm not that type of creator. I'm just here sharing my fish journey with everybody and hoping there's people that want to follow along with me. So yeah. Get ready to enjoy. So we'll do a quick pass through so you can kind of see what the layout looks like before I actually get into showing fish real quick. I don't know how well it showed up in the previous videos. A couple of trip hazards with some wires. What good fish room doesn't have a couple trip wires? Oh, and by the way, this divider isn't here for any reason. I thought it would divide up the sizes for me, but it obviously didn't do that. They just swim freely side to side. Alright, onto the 10-gallon rack. So we'll start easy. Right here, but she just went hiding. Got a Demoncy. He was beat up. Really wasn't growing. Now he's starting to grow, so he'll be good in a bigger tank now. For a while he wasn't doing anything. This right here is a 20 long. I've got my cherry shrimp in here. And then I've got my super red bristlenose plecos. I've got the big guy, and there's two small ones in there somewhere. They're probably in this mess of guppy grass somewhere, like all the shrimpies are. And right here, just a couple of platies and a pistos in an overgrown bale tank. I already ripped out a bunch of it, but could still take more out. Pisto back there. This tank's empty. These two have turquoise jewels in them. There's a pair. I bred them before, and these are leftover babies from that. And I used to have more, but they fought to the death pretty much until it was just these two left, and so they're making it now. Over here we've got a marbled vieja growing out. And right below we've got a super red dragon flower horn. It's growing out. Supposedly, and I don't know if it'll show up on camera better, I can't see back here too well, but there's black nasties in there. And there's also black nasties up here. Below them, we've got some Cubans. Supposedly there's 3 in there, but they like to hide. Usually behind the filter. Down below is empty. Over here I've got some Rams. I don't remember if they're German Blues or if they're gold Rams. One of them. Then next to them, got more baby peacocks. Above we've got another Cuban. Up above that, we have this gold base fader. Ooh, that was a nice yawn. Looks like it's a male. He's got a nice bump starting and some tassels coming off him. I mean, he's pretty small. He'll grow out still. And above that, we've got good Wilma. I rescued her from the Goodwill donation center that I was volunteering at. Somebody tried to donate their bait at a Goodwill. They only took the fish in because the lady was threatening to flush it, and they knew I was there and I could probably take it home and give it a tank. So yeah, she's got this whole 10-gallon to herself that's covered in plants. So this is a giant thing of pothos coming down. It goes that way, down the back, across, and it's almost across that tank now. So yeah, that's the 10 gallons. Over here I've got another, so these are all 40 breeders, these 4. In this one I've got my breeding group of Maury, or dolphin cichlids. And I've got one lone sunfish left, and he's kind of joined the group. Somewhere in here is, kind of see his fin right there, albino bristlemose pleco. And there's also a striped Raphael catfish in there somewhere. These guys just seem pretty chill with the sunfish. The sunfish can just come in and out of the group as he pleases, and they don't go chasing after. I don't see any torn fins at all, none of that. There's going to be a nice male. Then below them, I've got Scalofi, and then OB, Blueberry, and Luna. Homebred. These came from my own group when I had them. There's not many of the breeding groups left that I had from these guys since I moved down to Flowermore. Some of these I still want to breed, like the Blueberry OBs. I want to get those once breeding. They're a really cool looking fish once they get bigger. Alright. Well, that is every single tank all the way around. In detail. Hopefully enough detail. If there's more questions, you can always ask questions. But yeah. Whew, that's probably going to be a long video. Thank you all for watching. This is the ender right here. You guys made it to the end. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed anything you saw, if you have any questions, follow along. Drop your comments. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions about what I'm doing or anything, I'm happy to help. Happy to help out a newcomer. I've only been in this for 3.5 years now, so I'm fairly still new myself. I've done my own research, I've done my own trial and error, and that's just kind of how I ended up learning it now. But yeah, peace out guys, thanks for watching, cheers.